Welcome back everyone. In this video, we will be covering our second topic of chapter 1 Microeconomics, Indian economy on the eve of independence. Features of Indian economy on the eve of independence. जब हम आज़ाद हुए तब हमारी इकोनॉमी की क्या कंडीशन थी, क्या कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स थे जो कि हमारी इकोनॉमी को डिफाइन करते थे. On the eve of independence, Indian economy had the following characteristics. Stagnant economy. Stagnant मतलब there was no growth. अगर मैं यहाँ पर खड़ी हूँ then I am not moving, there is no growth. Why? Because I don't have the motivation or the incentive to reinvest or to work to improve the economy. हमारी इकोनॉमी एट द टाइम ऑफ इंडिपेंडेंस प्रोग्रेसिव इकोनॉमी नहीं थी. इट वॉज अ बैकवर्ड इकोनॉमी एंड इट वॉज अ स्टेगनेंट इकोनॉमी विच शोड नो साइंस ऑफ ग्रोथ. हमारी प्रोडक्शन और प्रोडक्टिविटी बहुत ही कम थी, इतनी कम थी कि हमारी सर्वाइवल जो है वो बहुत डिफिकल्ट हो गई थी. ऑन द ईव ऑफ इंडिपेंडेंस, Indian economy was completely a stagnant economy. A stagnant economy is the one which shows little or no signs in growth of income. Between 1860 and 1925, growth rate of per capita income was as low as 0.5% per annum, and between 1925 and 1950, it was 0.1% per annum. Now what is per capita income? Per capita income मतलब on an average country wide देखें तो एक इंसान की एक साल की उस पर्टिकुलर एरिया की, इस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में हम इंडिया की बात कर रहे हैं, कितनी इनकम है. हमारी पर कैपिटा इनकम का जो ग्रोथ रेट है दैट वाज 0.5% पर एनम टिल 1925 और उसके बाद इट इवन रिड्यूस्ड टू 0.1% पर एनम. ऑन अकाउंट ऑफ दिस स्टेग्नेशन, bulk of the Indian population lived in poverty. Standard of living of the people remained miserably low, and epidemics and famines were a recurring phenomena. क्योंकि लोगों के पास जो पर कैपिटा इनकम थी वो वैसे तो ऑलरेडी बहुत कम थी. इट वॉज 230 रुपीज़. कैन यू बिलीव इट? 230 रुपीज़ पर कैपिटा इनकम मीन्स कि मैं ऑन एन एवरेज इंडिया में अगर रहता हूँ तो पूरे साल में 230 रुपये कमा रहा हूँ सिर्फ. तो यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड कि हम कितनी पुअर कंट्री थे उस टाइम पर. एंड इट वॉज नॉट इवन शोइंग एनी साइंस ऑफ ग्रोथ, जिसकी वजह से भूखमरी, फेमीन्स एंड एपिडेमिक्स, बीमारी का फैलना, ये सब एक कॉमन एग्जिस्टेंस थी. देन कम्स बैकवर्ड इकोनॉमी. इंडियन इकोनॉमी वॉज ऑब्वियसली वेरी बैकवर्ड, क्योंकि हम अगर अपनी प्रोडक्शन की बात करें, टोटल प्रोडक्शन एंड प्रोडक्टिविटी पर हेक्टेयर प्रोडक्शन, दैट वॉज रियली वेरी लो एंड कुड हैव शोन ग्रेटर साइंस ऑफ इम्प्रूवमेंट. अगर हम तब की कंडीशन को आज से कंपेयर करें तो हम मल्टीपल टाइम्स इम्प्रूव कर चुके हैं. Indian economy was a backward economy on the eve of independence. Backward economy is the one in which per capita income is very low. Stagnant economy was there were no signs of growth. Backward economy is that particular point of time जहाँ पर हमारी per capita income is very low. In 1947-48, per capita income in India was just rupees 230. The bulk of the population was very poor, without sufficient food, clothing, shelter, and unemployment was rampant. Now, food, clothing, and shelter are so basic in nature कि अब उससे important तो हमारे लिए वाईफाई एंड दूसरी चीज़ें भी हो गई हैं. लेकिन तब लोगों के पास खाने, रहने के लिए और पहनने के लिए कपड़े भी नहीं होते थे. और क्योंकि देयर वॉज नो इंडस्ट्री, जो कि धीरे धीरे डिस्ट्रॉय हो गई थी स्ट्रेटेजिकली, देयर वॉज नो इंडस्ट्री, उसकी वजह से अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट भी बहुत ज़्यादा थी. एग्रीकल्चरल बैकवर्डनेस, जैसे कि हमने पढ़ा कि हमारे कंट्री में बहुत सारे लैंडलेस फार्मर्स थे, वो भी सबसिस्टेंस बेस्ड फार्मिंग करते थे, जिसकी वजह से हमारी एग्रीकल्चरल बैकवर्डनेस भी काफ़ी अपेरेंट थी. इट इज़ हाईलाइटेड बाय द फॉलोइंग फैक्ट्स. नियरली 72% ऑफ द कंट्रीज पॉपुलेशन वॉज एंगेज इन एग्रीकल्चर. नाउ यू कैन इमेजिन कि एक प्राइवेट सेक्टर के, प्राइमरी सेक्टर के अंदर 72% ऑफ द पॉपुलेशन काम कर रही है. वी हैव 3 सेक्टर्स एंड उसमें से 72% लोग सिर्फ एग्रीकल्चर में काम कर रहे हैं, जबकि उसका जीडीपी कंट्रीब्यूशन सिर्फ 50% है. सो यू कैन इमेजिन किस एक्सटेंट तक डिस्गाइज्ड अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट थी. डिस्गाइज्ड अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट मीन्स आई एम नॉट रिक्वायर्ड ऑन द फील्ड बट आई एम देयर बिकॉज आई डोंट हैव एनी अदर वर्क टू डू. Productivity was extremely low. Thus, per hectare output of wheat was only 660 kilograms and rice was 665 kilograms. We will study further कि ये कितना टाइम्स मल्टीप्लाई हो गया है आज के सिनेरियो से अगर हम कंपेयर करें तो. Productivity was extremely low. Thus, per hectare output of wheat was only 660 kilograms and rice was just 665 kilograms. फूड ग्रेन प्रोडक्शन वॉज बेयरली इनफ फॉर सबसिस्टेंस. सिर्फ इतना ही प्रोडक्शन हो पाता था कि हम उसको उससे खुद को फीड कर पाएँ। इनफैक्ट इट वॉज नॉट इवन सफिशिएंट फॉर सबसिस्टेंस। उसके अंदर भी वी कैन सी हाउ मेनी फेमिन्स there were after the independence. In 1947-48, it was recorded to be just 527 lakh tons, our food grade production. Today, it's in thousands and lakhs. It has multiplied many times. Then comes industrial backwardness. जैसे कि हमने पहले पढ़ा कि हमारी इंडस्ट्रीज को, हमारी हैंडीक्राफ्ट्स, हमारी हैंडलूम इंडस्ट्री को स्ट्रेटेजिकली डिस्ट्रॉय कर दिया गया, जिसकी वजह से हमारी इंडस्ट्रियल बैकवर्डनेस हो. सेकेंड ऑफ ऑल, हमारी कंट्री के अंदर हैवी गुड्स इंडस्ट्री, कैपिटल गुड्स इंडस्ट्रीज नहीं थी. हैवी गुड्स इंडस्ट्री मतलब वो इंडस्ट्री जो कि मशीन मैन्युफैक्चर करे. नाउ देयर आर प्रोडक्ट्स जो कि मशीन प्रोड्यूस करती है. नाउ वो मशीन, कैपिटल गुड्स, machinery producing industries, we were lacking in that, and we used to import that. Here, following facts are of underlying significance. There was a virtual lack of basic and heavy industries in the country. Production of machine was almost negligible. We didn't have heavy goods industry जो कि machine produce करे, which can further be used for production of various products. Small scale and cottage industries were almost ruined, as we saw. They were strategically destroyed by levying of heavy export duties, and with the advent of importing of machine-made products. For the bulk of its capital goods requirement, the Indian industry was dependent upon import from Britain. We used to import all our industrial goods requirement, our heavy industry products, machineries from the Britain. Rampant poverty. As we could see that the per capita income was just 230 rupees. So you can imagine how poor we were. Bulk of the population was very poor. People were not getting 2 square meals a day. They lacked shelter and clothing. And this was largely owing to the widespread unemployment caused by destruction of handicraft industries. Poor infrastructure. Now, infrastructure is very important to the nation because it helps in developing all the other spheres. What is infrastructure? It includes our electricity connections, it includes our roads, our highways, our railways, our electricity. And it is something which is basically a catalyst to all the other industries. Industrial development, including means of communication and transport, generation of power, energy, was extremely low. In 1948, power generation capacity was merely 2100 megawatts, and today we are just dealing in gigawatts. Length of railway lines was 53,596 kilometers, and Pakka roads had a coverage of 155,000 kilometers only. And now you know that our railways, Indian Railways, is one of the largest in the entire world. Heavy dependence on imports. Now, since our products, our industries were slowly ruined, we were dependent upon on our imports for our heavy machineries and for the machine-made products from the Britain. Even our defense equipments used to be imported from Britain because we were lacking in that. The country had to depend on imports for machinery and other equipments of production. Armed forces of the country also depended heavily on foreign imports for the most of the defense equipments. Besides, several consumer goods like sewing machines, medicines, kerosene, bicycles, etc. used to be imported from abroad. We were highly dependent on imports. Basically, जो made in India products थे, they were not there. मतलब कि we were lacking in import substitution. Then comes limited urbanization. Now most of the population on the eve of independence was ruralized. मतलब 86% of the people were living in rural areas and were somehow engaged in agriculture, and it was just 14% of the people who came to urban area and started working in the industrial sector or the tertiary sector. At the time of independence, bulk of the population of India lived in villages. In 1948, only 14% of the population lived in urban areas, while 86% lived in rural areas. Rural population lacked opportunities outside agriculture, and this compounded their poverty. Semi-feudal economy. Now, we are quite aware that Indian economy is a mixed economy. There are two basic kinds of economy: socialistic economy and the capitalistic economy. We are a combination of both. Now, feudalistic as a term is basically something जहाँ पर military आपको control करे. Military, here we mean government, जहाँ पे सभी resources, all the resources of the nation are owned by the government, and they will give you just the rights to use the resources, but ultimately they will be owned by the government. इसके अंदर the differences in the income of the rich and the poor is very low because everything is controlled by the government. And capitalistic economy is free trade economy, जहाँ पे the profit maximization is always the motive. It's not controlled by the government. It's like free flow. जितनी ज़्यादा demand होगी उसके according supply होगी and accordingly the prices will be decided. Now semi-feudalistic economy is a combination of both, where important and major basic resources industries are controlled by the government and the other non-essential industries are controlled by the entrepreneurs and businessmen. On the eve of independence, Indian economy was neither wholly feudal nor a capitalistic economy. It was a mixed economy or a semi-feudal economy. Such an economy had the mixture of feudalistic and capitalistic modes of production. Feudalistic mode of production leads to low productivity, since everything is controlled by the government and its main motive is that everyone has enough for survival. तो feudalistic में low productivity होती है because there are no free reins or free trade involved there. Low productivity leads to backwardness. Colonial economy. Now we were a colony to Britain, so we were a colonial economy. Indian economy was a colony of Britain government. It implied exploitation of Indian economy for the benefit of British economy. Obviously, we were being exploited. हम अपने नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज को ड्रेन कर रहे थे क्योंकि हम रॉ मटेरियल एक्सपोर्ट कर रहे थे फॉर द इंडस्ट्रियल नीड्स ऑफ द ब्रिटिश गवर्नमेंट और हम उनके फिनिश प्रोडक्ट्स मशीन मेड प्रोडक्ट्स को इम्पोर्ट कर रहे थे. सो वी वर ऑब्वियसली बीइंग एक्सप्लॉइटेड. Following observations highlight how Indian economy suffered at the hands of British rulers. British government curbed domestic industry by imposing heavy taxes. हमारी domestic industry धीरे धीरे strategically destroy कर दी. This forced the Indians to buy the British goods. Now we were forced to buy the British goods actually because we don't have any other alternative. Indian economy was used as a source of raw material for the British industries. Export of raw material were almost duty free. Thus, natural resources in India were drained for the growth of the British industry. Atrocities were committed on Indian artisans so as to force them to close their cottage industries, and this led to the destruction of Indian handicrafts. They didn't just impose duties, लेकिन उसके अलावा they were harassing the artisans. They were forcing them to close their businesses. So, which basically ultimately led to the destruction of Indian handicraft industry. Now, this is an end to this topic. We will be covering agricultural sector on the eve of Indian independence in the next video. Till then, stay home, stay safe.